Hello, my name is Megan Wood, and this is my digital presentation for the week one assignment. I have titled it Technology, Past and Present, and it is by me, Megan Wood, for the class TEC 520, and we will go ahead and get started. So we'll begin by talking about the change of societal norms. Now, what does it mean to be normal? The definition I found of social norm is an expected form of behavior in a given situation. So these are some of the norms that I have either encountered myself or that I have seen through readings and things like that. So digital teaching tools allows teachers to do less whole group and more small group or one-on-one instruction, which is very, very true. Adding technology into your classroom kind of takes the attention off of you, and you can individualize your instruction a little bit more. The next one, I'm going to go side to side. So online learning environments allow teachers to extend the classroom beyond the school day. Things like online courses that we're taking now, we can kind of explore online, and you don't have to sit in a classroom to actually be learning. Social networking, I found these in our textbook. So 95% of 12 to 17-year-olds are online. 93% either own or have access to a computer at home, and 80% use social media. So I don't know about you, but those are large statistics. So finding a way to maybe implement social networking into your classroom, whether it be blogging or Twitter or anything like that. But that is definitely a social norm that I've encountered. The next one, introducing technology at an early age. About 2/3 of nursery school children and 80% of kindergartners use computers. I actually have a 3-year-old daughter myself, and she has a tablet already, and she loves to do things like ABC Mouse and all those different kinds of learning apps. So it's definitely starting at a very early age. Next one, student-centered learning. Teachers are facilitators, and students are engaging in discovery learning. So making it more about the students and less about the teacher. No more whole class lectures. Well, not, it doesn't mean any, like, no more, but maybe making them less. Um, so next, frequent use of digital devices in the classroom, whether it be laptops, the e-readers, tablets, digital cameras, interactive whiteboards. You see it used almost every day in some way in most classrooms. So let's go ahead and move on. Here I've just kind of listed, I have technology of the past and technology in the present. So just in the last maybe 20 to 30 years, technology has definitely had a huge impact on just the way we live in general. So what I have here are just kind of some examples of the changes that have occurred probably in like the last 20 to 30 years, I would say. Um, as you can see, technology of the past, things are bigger, things are bulkier. Um, yeah. As you can see in technology of the present, things are more slim and sleek and streamlined. Things are more compact, such as cameras. We have cameras that we can mount on helmets. We have police officers wearing cameras on their uniforms, things like that. Televisions, we have remote controls that we can talk to. Cell phones, they're touch screen, they're voice activated, fancy things like that. Even our watches have touch screens, and so yeah, things have definitely changed a lot. Things that I've noticed maybe in the classroom is that we're able to connect children with the world better. Some of our students may not have as many opportunities as other students, but just due to low income or things like that. So we go on like virtual field trips just using Google Maps and things like that. So I can take them to Paris in a matter of seconds to see the Eiffel Tower, which could not have happened years and years ago. So just some notes about how they have changed. Moving on, we will talk about the balance between technology as a tool and technology as a distraction. So it is difficult, using technology in your classroom comes with pros and cons. So in order to utilize it as a tool, you have to make sure that you are emphasizing your expectations to your students. Multitasking, which I have tried to do, but it's really impossible. So doing things like watching YouTube videos and trying to type a research paper are not a productive use of technology. And in fact, I found a research study that found evidence that students that spent class time doing something other than schoolwork actually lowered their scores on the exams. So just making sure that your students know what is expected of them and what they are supposed to be doing and making sure they're on task is a big part of making it a tool and not a distraction. The middle, focus on individual creativity. Just making sure that you are using these devices to enhance your lessons, allowing students to be creative and that kind of thing. And the last, technology is not going away, so don't fight it. As teachers, it's kind of our responsibility to keep up to date on what's new and upcoming and things like that. And just from the future, the last few slides I did, it's obvious that technology is going to just continue to expand and grow. And so we as teachers, we have to accept this and learn how to use it to our advantage. So staying up to date, taking classes like we are right now, going to conferences, things like that will definitely help. I have created a little type of flow chart here just to kind of help you to know if the technology is beneficial to your teaching or lesson or not. You can kind of start wherever. I have the arrows kind of pointing you in the direction, but you can really start in any little area. So I'm going to start right here in the beginning. It says, is the technology readily available? So things you have to consider. Is it something that your students have access to? Is it something that you could easily get your hands on? Or is it something that you're going to have to search for and you may not have available at your school building or something like that? So that's definitely something to consider. Next, I have, do the students know how to use it effectively? Are your students already familiar with using the technology, or will you have to teach lessons on how to operate it or how to use it? So that will definitely matter. Next, is it highly interactive? Will students be engaged in the technology or the lesson, or will it cause them to seek out things like Facebook and Twitter and things like that? So the next, we have, will it enhance the lesson and how? Will it help students find their creativity? Is it beneficial to use the technology for this type of lesson? Will it motivate students to work? Things like that. Next, down here, we have, do the students, oops, that's not right. We'll go ahead and go on to the next one. What is the goal of learning and what will the final outcome be? So what is the final product going to look like? What do you expect of them? What are the expectations? Things like that. Last, I have, is it teacher or student centered? So is it based on students discovering and being able to explore, or is it based on the teacher giving the instructions and the student just doing it? This is, I apologize about this, this is actually supposed to be what will the classroom organization look like? So are your students going to be working individually? Are they working in small groups? Is it a whole class activity? Things like that. And moving on, I don't want this to run too long. I'm already at 10 minutes. So I will do a quick Q&A of just some frequently asked questions and things like that. So question number one, where do the standards come into play when using technology in the classroom? And a good answer. So we have both the Common Core state standards, which I'm sure we're all quite familiar with, and the ISTE standards for teachers and students. Many actually don't realize that the Common Core standards do include implementation of 21st century technologies. To be a 21st century learner, students have to be familiar with how to use 21st century technologies. Um, while the ISTE standards for teachers and students include things such as digital citizenship, using different platforms to meet desired objectives, using technology to demonstrate learning, things like that. So we have both of those sets of standards, which highly emphasize using technology in an educational setting. And question number two, what might technology in the classroom look like in the future? The possibilities are actually endless. As you can see, just in the last 20 to 30 years, how much technology has impacted our classrooms. So we might see things such as digital textbooks in all classrooms, not having actual physical textbooks anymore, which could save locker time and heavy backpacks. Um, Flipped classrooms are coming up a lot. Flipped classrooms are where students actually watch the lesson on a video at home and then come in the next day, and that's when you do the activities and the implementation and things like that. So you're flip-flopping what happens in the classroom and what actually happens at home. Um, Also things such as utilizing personal digital devices, cell phones, things like that. There's kind of a big debate on whether or not cell phones are a good tool to use in classrooms. So I have a feeling that that will be uh, continuing on in future years. But as I said, the possibilities are really endless. So I'm actually kind of excited to see where it might take us. So last but not least, the resources that I've used for this presentation. And thank you for your time.